the prophethood of the Prophet Muhammad is holding you back from accepting Islam? What if I show you his name in the Bible?
For Muhammad's?
Yeah.
Sure. That'd be something else. I don't think I came across that.
Got you. So we'll read the English first, and then I'll show you in the Hebrew. So this is Songs of Solomon, right? My beloved is white and ruddy, the chief among 10,000. His head is the most fine gold. His locks are bushy, black as a raven. By the way, in the Hebrew here, black as a raven, it says black as a Arab, literally like Arab, right? His eyes are the eyes of doves by the rivers of water, washed with milk and fitly set. His cheeks are as beds of spices, sweet flowers, his lips smelling. So it basically gives a description of an individual, right? Now pay attention right here. His mouth is most sweet. You see the yeah, comma? That's an addition. That doesn't belong there. He is altogether lovely. This is my beloved and this is my friend. We're daughters of Jerusalem, right? Now we're going to do Songs of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 16 in the Hebrew. It's going to say, Hiko mantakim wechulo.
Muhammadin.
Who is this individual, Muhammadin?
I would guess you would say it was Muhammad. Me personally, I can't confess that. Lovely.
Yeah.
In the English?
Yeah, so
is that what you guys call him in your Arabic?
Yeah, so for example, names have meanings, right?
Yeah.
Like Ishmael means God hears, right? But every time you say Ishmael, you're not literally saying God hears,
Exactly.
right? So the name Muhammad means lovely, desirable, the desired one, the admired one. So even if we go to the root word of this word, Mahmed,
which is a transliteration of Muhammad.
Exactly. So it gives a description of the individual, and it says his mouth is most sweet, and yes, he is altogether lovely. Now, what's interesting is if you go to a Jewish translation of this text, it literally says his mouth is most sweet, and he is Muhammad. They translate it properly. So when the Jews translate the text, they do it properly. But when the Christians do it, they try to add the is, yes, he is. They try to twist it so it doesn't seem like it is Muhammad. You see what I'm saying? So this is my topic, bro. Like Muhammad in the Bible, like
But the thing is, the Muhammad that's being described in Songs of Solomon isn't how he's described in the Quran, from my own belief.
Yeah.
Because doesn't he say he has like clear skin or something like snow or something like that? It almost describes him as like a white person.
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember, ruddy isn't.
Ruddy is reddish.
That's like red.
Like I would say you're ruddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So back to the prophecy, right? White and ruddy.
Oh, okay.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
And the beautiful thing is the chief among 10,000. You know what's crazy? When the Prophet Muhammad conquered Mecca, you know how many soldiers he had with him?
Was it 10,000?
On the dot.
Wow.
So you literally have a description of the individual, and then his name is in the text. Like, come on, bro. That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Now, I'll show you even more like evidence that Jews were expecting 8 prophets to come. Even in the New Testament. Right?
Does it say what Muhammad's lineage is? Because when
in the Bible or where?
Well, just in general.
Yeah. He's from, we have like evidence that he's from the line of Ishmael.
He's from the line of Ishmael?
Yeah.
So how do you feel about, I think it's Romans, when it talks about those that come from Isaac are the children of the flesh, but those are according to the seed of the promise.
Okay.
Because Isaac birthed Ishmael. No. Was it Abraham birthed Isaac? Isaac had
the 12 tribes.
No, Abraham had Isaac and Ishmael.
Yeah.
The seed is counted for in Isaac. I'm sorry. That's what I'm
okay.
saying.
The problem with that is let's see, let me get the verse for you.
I think it's in Romans 9, if I'm not mistaken.
The problem with that is Genesis 22.
Mm-hmm. It should be a
right here. So it's talking about Abraham, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So it says, I will surely bless you and make your descendants as numerous as the stars in the sky. So the problem with Paul saying that is the Old Testament says that both will be blessed. Descendants is plural.
Yeah.
You know? And through your offspring, all nations on earth will be blessed because you have obeyed me. So if the Christians want to say that the blessing is through Isaac, well, where's Ishmael's blessing then?
Well, let's see.
Right? Because both have to be blessed somehow.
And I mean, I think he was blessed, and he has I think it says that he has like a bunch of nations or something like that that comes from that.
Yeah. He will be the leader of 12 nations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as Ishmael is concerned, not
Isaac.
not Isaac.
Right.
Let me see if I can get it. Yo, how much charge do I have? I'm good, charge.
Yeah, you're good. Now, you're good. Do you take from Paul, by the way?
I do, but I'm not a Paulite. I don't believe like I put Jesus' word over Paul. A lot of Christians will go Paul. He didn't die for my sins. You know what I'm saying?
I like that. I like that.
You know what I'm saying? So definitely not a Paulite, but I do subscribe to the teachings of Paul.
I like that. A lot of people would say that they would rather not necessarily quote Paul, but most people go to Paul rather than quoting Jesus directly. So I respect that quite a bit.
Here we go. Okay, so this is Romans 9. I'm going to start at verse. Let's start at 7.
Okay.
Neither because they are the seed of Abraham are they all children, right? It gets more specific. But in Isaac shall thy seed be called. That is, they which are the children of the flesh, these are not the children of God, but the children of the promise are counted for the seed. For this is the word of promise, at this time I will come, and Sarah shall have a son. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac. So I think it gets more specific, and it's going down the bloodline genealogy of, or the patriarchy of Isaac.
Okay.
So it doesn't really, not to say that, because I do believe that Ishmael was blessed.
Okay.
But I feel like the overall blessing, as far as it comes to salvation, because I don't believe salvation is inclusive to all.
Okay.
I believe it is exclusive, and I feel like this verse supports that it has to come through the seed line of Isaac. But then as you go down more, it gets more specifically when it talks about 9 and 13, how he loved Jacob and hated Esau, the sons of Isaac.
So you don't believe everyone is saved?
No, not so.
So how do you get saved?
Well, there's nothing you could inherently do to get saved. I believe that the Most High God is omnipotent. So he set up the foundations of the earth before the earth was ever created. Now, in our finite minds on the earth, you could try to keep the law of Moses, but it's only the Most High is going to allow you to do that. I believe you have to keep the law of Moses, and you have to have the faith in so-called Jesus Christ.
Okay. So you have to, you're saying the faith in his crucifixion, right?
Yeah, because he's the mediator, so you have to believe that he mediates to the Father. You can't go through to the Father without that.
Okay, but is the Son God himself?
No, not
no.
Two separate.
And only the Father is divine.
Only the Father. Well, what do you divine as in like
God?
So I don't believe he's the Most High God, but I do believe he is a God. It says in the Psalms, "Ye are gods."
Yeah.
So I do believe he is a God. I don't believe he's the Most High God. I do believe he was used to create the earth, but you know,
okay,
because he's like when the angels created it on one of the days, I believe he created it. But he's not the Most High God. He's not.
You're very close to Islam. You know that?
Am I really?
Yeah. Because we don't say that Jesus is a creator or he's the Son of God, but we do say he is the Messiah.
You don't believe he's the Son of God?
No. I don't believe that God has sons. For example, bro, like God is above having sons. Like, why would God need a son?
Why would God need a son?
Think about that.
Why would God need a son? Well, I mean, it's not in the sense of like, he had sex and then he conceived a son.
Right. But in general.
But in a metaphorical term, that's a good point. Why would he need a son?
The Quran says it doesn't befit God to take on a son or a child. Right? Like, look around, bro. Look at it. It's crazy. God is powerful enough to create that. He doesn't need a son, a daughter. God is not dependent on anything or anyone. God is far beyond that.
But in Islam, don't you believe in like structure and leadership and having some type of order established. You know what I'm saying?
Like a Khalifa?
Like what do you mean?
Like when you say order, like what do you mean? Like someone in charge doing?
Like, for example, you're the teacher, he's the cameraman, and this guy's standing on post watching. You guys have an order. You guys are structured. It's almost like an army. There's the general. You know what I'm saying? God, he's the master blueprint designer, the architect. Christ is the king. Do you guys believe you guys need a king or somebody to establish you guys, or it's all God?
Nah, I believe that we've already been established, right? Like you can't be Muslim without saying that Jesus is a prophet, without saying that Moses is a prophet. We accept all the prophets, right? The thing is, we say that Muhammad is the final prophet. He is the seal of prophethood. Now we adhere to the Quran. Now, as far as like the military structure, these guys are just my boys. Usually I'm out here by myself, right? Like I don't look up to any man that's alive today and say, yo, I gotta listen to what he says. No, right? My ruling comes from the Quran itself, right? And as far as Jesus, I could never wrap my head around, number one, the Trinity.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like, so to me, it's essentially like, okay, as a Muslim, I get to keep Jesus. I get to put respect on his name, by saying he is the Messiah, by saying he is the son of Mary, born of a virgin. He is coming back a second time, but I don't have to say that he became a curse and got crucified for me, because the Bible says that Jesus became a curse, and through that curse, you are saved. Whereas the Quran says that Jesus was a blessing. So it's like, okay, we have this individual by the name of Jesus who everyone claims they love. But when you look at the two books, one says he's a curse, the other says he's a blessing. Who really loves Jesus? You know what I'm saying?